Welcome back. It's Wednesday, which means I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try my TMZ voice.
All right.
Time to visit with our friend Michael Babcock of TMZ. Is that a good TMZ voice?
That was pretty good.
Can you do it one key lower?
I don't know. Well,
all
I'll go lower.
It's all right. It's all good.
Michael, it's so good to
morning.
see you.
Good morning.
Kelly and Jeremy, thank you for having me.
Michael, if your
Absolutely.
announcer ever quits, I want to audition for Harvey.
You know what? It's actually two people that do the
Are you
TMZ
serious?
voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's funny. You see them walking around the building, and you're like, "You're the voice."
You're the voice of TMZ.
I love the voice. I try to imitate it all the time. So
love
it's
that.
fun. It's fun.
I'm gonna try.
But
So I hear we
one of them
have.
leaves, Jeremy. You're
I'm
in.
sorry.
You're
Thank you. I'm not kidding you. They probably make bank. I'm just saying.
I'm sure they do.
And hey, you can just do that at home.
I hope they don't
too.
make more than me.
Yeah. You got to get up and go to the office every day.
I would.
Yeah.
Michael, I hear we have Britney news.
Yeah. Well, today is a huge day, Jeremy. I was looking forward to talking to you about this. So. Today is the day. Remember we talked about this a couple months ago that Britney Spears, she told the judge through her attorney that she wanted to speak in her conservatorship hearing. Well, today is that day, and Britney Spears is going to go to a court in Los Angeles, and she is actually not her attorney. She is going to address the court and address the judge. And it is expected that she is essentially going to say that, look, I have a really bad relationship with my dad. We do not see eye to eye, and please take him off as my conservator. So that's what we expect Britney to say to the judge. But look, Britney Spears can be unpredictable sometimes. So who knows what's going to happen when she takes that stand. But, even though we're not going to get to watch it necessarily, I mean, you will hear what happens. And it's going to be very interesting to hear what Britney Spears has to say about all this craziness that's been going on, with her over the years. And today is the day that Britney Spears finally talks.
This could be tough because here's the deal. She's got all this emotional baggage from things that have gone on for years, but she needs to come across as competent and not overly
Emotional.
Yeah,
that's going to be a hard balance.
But yeah, and especially when you're testifying about something that's really, this is an emotional subject for her. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy today. And I really don't have a feel for how it's going to go. I could see her going up there and doing a great job. I could see her struggling a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see.
Michael, do you think she'll be reading from a prepared statement, or is she going to talk off the cuff? That's
a great question, Jeremy. I hadn't thought about that. Now that you say it, you would imagine that she would try and prepare something, right? So that's a lot of pressure on her just off the cuff to kind of spill her feelings out there. So you would think that she prepared something, but again, who knows? She's so unpredictable at times. Maybe she says, "I'm just going to go in there and let it fly," and I say what I say. What's fascinating to me too, though, is I just can't imagine having the career she's had. She has made all that money. It's her empire. Having to go in and say, I don't want this person in charge of my money. You would just think that person could say, you're out, you're fired. It's my money.
Right.
Especially if that person is causing her emotional distress. And that's what it seems like is happening here. And, Britney, there have been reports lately that she has wanted to get out of the conservatorship, period, not just her father. But honestly, over the last decade plus, while she's been under this conservatorship, during that time, we haven't heard that she doesn't want the conservatorship or she disagrees with it. It always has been she just wants her dad out of the picture. So, yeah, it's going to be fascinating. I guess, we'll probably talk about what happens today next week. Please do. Hey, are you going to have a TMZ mole in the courtroom? No, but we'll have somebody out. We'll have somebody outside the courtroom, and hopefully you'll see her go in and out. Maybe she'll talk to us, before or after the hearing. So we will have somebody there, but I don't know about a mole in the courtroom. I would love to. I would pay to see this, Michael. I would love to see a shot of the courtroom with Michael Babcock with a big straw floppy hat, like a beach hat, hiding in the courtroom. I think the hat might draw attention. I'm just saying. I don't know. But anyway, I could probably expose myself and nobody would know. Yeah. Isn't that Michael Babcock underneath that straw hat? Surely not. Okay. Sorry, I digress. That's okay. All right. What else we got? So moving on. This one. This is obviously a sad story. So Vanessa Bryant, only weeks after Kobe Bryant and Gigi, her daughter, died in that horrific plane helicopter crash. She filed a lawsuit against the helicopter company, the company that actually owned and operated the helicopter. It's a company called Island Express. And Vanessa alleged that they were responsible for the death of her husband, her daughter, and all the other people on the helicopter because Vanessa said it was unsafe for the company to operate that helicopter that day because of the poor weather conditions. She said there was a thick fog, there was a low cloud level, and she says that the helicopter company and specifically the pilot should have known that it was unsafe to operate that helicopter, but they didn't know that, or they pushed on anyway, and as a result of that, there was a horrific crash where people died, and she said, you are responsible. And, now Vanessa's attorneys have filed a document in court. It was a notice of settlement. So that's what indicates that there was a settlement here. However, the financial details are unclear. So we don't know how much money she received. All we know is that there has been a settlement here, and the settlement offer was good enough to appease Vanessa, who was dropping the lawsuit.
I don't blame her for that, first of all. But second of all, it was weather that caused the crash. Okay.
Was it fog?
And the pilot became disoriented in the fog. I remember that day out here. It was a foggy day, and the clouds were really low. And once I found out that Kobe had died, I remember thinking back a few hours earlier and looking up, and you can't fly today. It's the conditions are really not conducive, and they did anyway. But she wins this lawsuit. She also has a lawsuit against the LA County Sheriff's Department. Remember, some officers were caught showing photos of the wreckage and of the carnage.
That.
Yeah, one officer tried to allegedly pick up a woman in a bar using the photograph. So that lawsuit still goes on, but at least this lawsuit, Vanessa can put this behind her.
Do you know, Michael, too, this lawsuit, is it in benefit of all the victims or just the Bryant family?
This one, I believe, was just filed by Vanessa. I'm trying to think back to when I looked at the documents. I believe this one is just Vanessa. I do, however, believe that some of the other families have filed similar suits. Unsure of the status of those right now, though.
And again, not that money can heal, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
They'd rather have somebody back. I just hope she uses somebody who has great fortune, like she does, like monetarily.
Right.
I hope she uses the settlement to help other kids or maybe victims of these kind of tragedies.
Exactly.
You had, parts of families wiped out in that crash, and it's just, it's terrible. It's terrible.
All right. We have 30 seconds left, though.
So yeah, I'll go quick on this one. So you remember Tristan Thompson? There was that woman, her name is Kimberly Alexander, who kept saying that Tristan fathered her baby, and Tristan said, no, I didn't. I took 2 paternity tests. It shows that I'm not the father. Well, Tristan actually sued her for libel, and now it looks like he is about to win a $53,000 settlement from the judge, who has basically come to the conclusion that Tristan was telling the truth, that he's not the father of this woman's baby, and that she has essentially smeared his name. So Tristan Thompson on the verge of getting a big win in court.
Huh.
Oh,
Awesome.
well, good for him.
Good for him, then.
Good for him.
You are not the father.
You are not the father, Maury.
and him and Chloe have broken up again, so now he's single. So
no.
He can do what he wants.
Man.
Michael.
What are we going to do?
We'll see you in the courtroom with that floppy straw hat, sir.
Okay.
Have the hat on.
See you next week, Michael.
Thank
you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank
All
you so
right,
much
you
for
can
having
catch TMZ weekdays at 5 p.m., TMZ live weeknights at 1:30 a.m., and we will be back right after this.
Here's what I'm picturing. Michael with the floppy hat and he's covering, and he's like taking notes. He's like, and he's calling us. Britney just said this.
# free Britney.
Yes!
Yes.
From the courtroom.
Yes.